Welcome to the bold analysis. Today, the 5th of September, Raila Amolo Odinga, the former infrastructure envoy in AU, attended the climate summit, Africa Climate Summit that is currently underway in KICC. And I want to show you some interesting tweets in Spain. Rigathi Caught was dispatched at the entrance around in the KCC to receive dignitaries. And to his shock, Raila Odinga was one of the invited guests that came along with other African heads of states that were invited. This photo was taken. There are two photos. There is this photo you're seeing here when Rigathi Caught was sent to welcome Raila Odinga. And that was him, and the other one is Mohamed Faki, was also the other person that was welcoming, rather was receiving those leaders. And apart from that of Rigathi Caught, there's this other photo of also Mohamed Faki, both Rigathi receiving those leaders. That was in KCC. Now, this photo was first captured in Rigathi Caught's Facebook page, because what happened, like yesterday we had ran the story about how Rigathi was sidelined in receiving guests over the weekend, and we said that when all these visitors were coming, Rigathi was not dispatched to receive them, despite the fact that he's a deputy president, and we raised the questions about it. So I think his handlers wanted to prove us wrong by then making sure they share all the photos of Rigathi Caught receiving presidents at KCC. Remember, our analysis was never at KCC. Our analysis was when these presidents were arriving in the country, Rigathi was nowhere. So at KCC, just to greet, then the other protocol officers takes charge. So all those photos were shared, including that of Raila. I can give you a challenge. When you go back to that very post, you will realize that Raila Odinga's photo has been pulled down from that post. And the photo of Rigathi Caught welcoming Raila Odinga has been pulled down. There are questions as to what happened, and we'll try to look at it. To make you get another understanding, I wanted to look at this Twitter post. This Twitter post was made yesterday by a man I believe is normally a blogger for William Ruto. That was Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei. Cherargei yesterday did a tweet and said, "When is Baba addressing the Africa Climate Summit at Nairobi? We were told during last elections that he is a pan-Africanist and has a lot of international connections. Then Azimio Oka are likely not to attend and go on Amandamanos, or they'll watch on Viusasa." The good senator, who is a blogger for William Ruto, the Nandi senator, probably did not know that on day 2, Raila Odinga will attend that summit. Let me tell you, people have been asking, so which way? Can he attend impromptu? No. He can't attend impromptu. Even if he attends, nothing can happen. But this is a high-profile conference that a leader in the caliber of Raila Odinga cannot just get. And it's very clear that his presence there is not just a coincidence. His presence there was well planned, and the leaders know, the protocol officers know, and the organizers knew very well that Raila was going to attend that event. Now, you have to know that immediately he got inside, he was received by, after Rigathi Caught, he went to the VIP room. Then when he went in the auditorium, he was received by Esther Passaris, who is the Nairobi women rep and is amongst the protocol officers in the auditorium. So what about it? Even, let me tell you, when that summit is organized, there are seats that are reserved. They're reserved for dignitaries. I want you to imagine a situation where Raila gets there when almost everything has been organized and this person is sitting here, that person is sitting there. Then gets to sit next to some few youths somewhere in that summit. It doesn't go that way. Now, yesterday, there was some reverse psychology because I remember Aledama Olekina was already complaining about to the organizers of the summit that why are they not, the summit is not, the theme is not in connection with climate. They would have done it in the desert. So those bit, and I think the state realized that the opposition wing was already putting some smear narrative on that climate change. Why did Rigathi pull down that photo? Why do you think he pulled down that photo? There is that one clear reason first, that he did not think of Raila attending that summit. Because according to him, Raila is a commoner because Raila was not elected in any office. He's on record, Rigathi is on record many instances asking, who are you? You were not elected. Who are you? You're just a Kenyan like others. So Rigathi has always attempted not to attach any significance to Raila Odinga. Remember during the Evolution Conference, Raila was invited on day 2 to attend the summit and address the conference. Then the next day that was Rigathi. Now Rigathi has been struggling and trying very hard to convince his gullible followers that Raila is a commoner like me and you. No. You give credit where it's due. Raila is a former Prime Minister of Republic of Kenya. Just like Uhuru Kenyatta is a former president. Just like Kalonzo Musyoka is a former vice president. You will not take away. And some of these things, when I see leaders in the caliber of Rigathi making such reckless statements, I normally wonder, are they going to be vice presidents forever? At one point, Rigathi Gachagua will be called a former Madeira member of parliament and a former vice president. So, former is the title. Raila Odinga is not a commoner because for the last 4 years or 5 years, Raila was AU Special Envoy on Infrastructure. Truth be told, you give credit where it's due. So that's one reason that he's always wanted, he would not want to. Imagine a person you've been calling a commoner, you're now inviting, you're now receiving him. And you've always believed this person is Mandamano, this person is this person is that. No. Number 2, Ruto could have invited Raila secretly. And even the organizers may have known, but Rigathi Gachagua was not on the know. Maybe was informed in the morning or in the wee hours of the day, later in the day, yesterday, that Raila Odinga was going to attend. Because if the Kenya Kwanza team knew that Raila was going to attend that summit, Senator Cherargei wouldn't have made that reckless tweet. Now, why do you think William Ruto made sure that Raila attended the summit? Why he had to sneak in Raila Odinga in that summit? Whether invited by letter or even called to attend, one thing I know is that his presence there got the nod by William Ruto. I want to tell you there are 3 reasons why this is happening. Number 1, yesterday there were demonstrations. And those demonstrations watered down the significance of that African climate summit. There are demonstrations in town. I think you will see this. You'll see those placards where they said more action to be taken. And these civil society organizations had already complained that the summit lacked significance because agenda was set by Europe. They said that summit lacked significance because America was controlling what was going to be discussed in that summit. So even the intelligence might have informed William Ruto that for it to get life and to get some, some credibility and some support even in the country, they would inject Raila Odinga. Now, Raila Odinga has been, is an opposition leader. And anyone will just think that even those demonstrations had his blessings. That is one thing, that maybe those who were demonstrating maybe had his blessings because he had just led demonstrations in this country 1 month ago. So they made sure that they bring in Raila Odinga so that it gets the soul of the country. Remember, Raila commands a huge following here. So many people are not even following. Now, the people who will follow that summit today, because they want to know what Raila has attended. The statement that Raila has attended is already going to excite some people, even how to get to that summit. And they knew very well that, imagine you'll leave him out, and he will just leave and go move on with his political escapades, do his politics, and will water down or rather run smear campaign against the same climate summit in the country. But I don't think that will be his intention. Number two, William Ruto wanted to ensure that he shows the world that Kenya is having a united front in these climate change deliberations. They wanted to show a unity of purpose. I think Anthony Guterres was in the country yesterday. And Guterres, I understand, the United Nations Secretary General, is one of the foreign diplomats that called Raila Odinga immediately after the last general election. I think that was largely reported in the media. And so, William Ruto wanted to show that when you get Guterres in the country, Kenya is hosting this summit, and Ruto is convener, you need to get clout. And it's clearly that William Ruto also knew that Raila has network in Africa. Raila's African network is strong. He's been working in those African Union ranks for quite some time. And in the continent, Ruto was making sure that he's pushed. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching, and let's meet in the next. There is a clear message from this photo. Raila is not a commoner, as Rigathi will want to tell his gullible supporters. I don't think that is it. That is what has been confirmed here. Because if so, then why don't you invite the hustlers there? Invite your villages, invite your friends. That's my take.